So the question is, did Jeffrey Epstein secretly fund Bitcoin? Documents have been released and the answer is undoubtedly yes, but not really in the way the internet might think. Slow down, because this isn't Epstein created Bitcoin. This is a little bit much more interesting than that actually. So let's go back a little bit. The year is 2015. Bitcoin is not what it is today. There are no ETFs, no institutional adoption, no presidents talking about it, no BlackRock filings, or even a possibility of it coming. Nothing. Back then, Bitcoin was fragile. The Bitcoin Foundation had just collapsed, internal chaos, funding dried up, and reputation damaged. You know one thing that I've come to realize that people don't really understand about Bitcoin? It is not just run on vibes. Developers actually work the system. The core developers, the people maintaining the Bitcoin core software, literally broke. Some of them were even about to quit. But what if these developers quit though? What will happen to Bitcoin? Bitcoin doesn't die overnight, but development actually slows down. Bugs will not get patched, and the security would eventually weaken. And that's basically how projects fade. So, a certain group of people did not want to see this happen. And that is MIT. That's right. Specifically the MIT Media Lab. Now they launched something brand new called the Digital Currency Initiative. And you will not believe what their goal was. That's right. You guessed it. Their goal was to hire and pay the Bitcoin developers so that the project doesn't die. It's not like they were building a new coin, not like they were trying to fork it. They just wanted to fund the developers of the network so that they could keep working. Fast forward a few weeks later, on the 25th of April 2015, same year, an email leaves the inbox of the media director at MIT. And in that email, Jeffrey Epstein's name shows up. So what does that translate to? Epstein's funds helped MIT hire and pay developers. And these developers were both wanted by MIT and Epstein. Now let's take a pause for a bit, because this is where people get emotional rather than analytical. Let's talk about the numbers. Around $750,000 came directly from Epstein himself. And then another $5 to $7 million that was routed through billionaires like Bill Gates and Leon Black. Of course, coordinated by Jeffrey Epstein. Now hold on a bit. Did I just hear Bill Gates? A couple of years after 2015, Bill Gates publicly criticized Bitcoin repeatedly. In interviews, he called it speculative. He said it had no intrinsic value. He framed it as potentially harmful, and he even said that if it was easy, he would short it. At one point, he compared crypto enthusiasm to greater food dynamics. So think about that contrast. Meanwhile, he was quietly funding the network and openly criticizing it. Do you now see why I say you shouldn't pay attention to the news? Now, in Jeffrey Epstein's email, there's a particular name that he mentioned. This name is Gavin Anderson. Now, if you are new to Bitcoin history, you may not know this guy, but this guy is not just a regular developer. He was literally the next in line after Satoshi Nakamoto, like the next lead developer. Satoshi handed him commit access to the code repository. He coordinated releases, reviewed changes, managed improvements. For years, if there was going to be a major change in Bitcoin, Gavin was definitely aware of it. He was one of the very few people that had direct email exchanges with Satoshi Nakamoto. And in Epstein's emails, he mentioned Gavin by first name, as if he was sort of familiar with him. Now, in all of the released emails and documents, there is no evidence that Epstein wrote any code, no evidence he controlled features, and there is also no evidence that he played any role prior to 2015, because Bitcoin actually launched in 2009, and these documents are from 2015. So if you see anyone saying Epstein created Bitcoin, that's not actually true. But funding developers during a fragile stage of a decentralized monetary network is not nothing. In open source systems, money equals sustainability, and sustainability equals influence, even if it's indirect. So the real question here is, why did Jeffrey Epstein fund Bitcoin? Why was he so interested in funding these developers? This obviously wasn't some random charity move. Epstein wasn't just casually writing checks to random developers. He was strategic. He liked influence, he liked leverage, and he liked proximity to power. So what did he actually see in Bitcoin back then? Was it ideological, or was it a financial move? Was it about positioning or access, or maybe something bigger? Because really, in 2015, Bitcoin wasn't politically safe. It was fringe, associated with Silk Road, with cypherpunks, and it definitely wasn't really mainstream. Anyway, there are more files to uncover, so we're going to keep digging. But what do you guys think? Do you think there's something about Bitcoin that we don't even know yet? Maybe Epstein even has direct access to this Satoshi Nakamoto guy, and maybe they created a backdoor or something crazy. More files are coming out. I guess we're going to find out. Stay tuned.